What's up, everybody, especially Patriot fans? It is football season. Let's get out there and show everyone just how patriotic we can be. What up, everybody? It's the Rottweiler Patriots. I'm Vegas.
And I'm T-Bone.
And welcome, everybody. It's football season. Week 1 begins this upcoming weekend, and we are super excited to talk about the New England Patriots with y'all. Before we jump into the video real quick, I want to remind everybody about our Puppy of the Week segment beginning this fall. You look for our Power Rankings videos. You look at our first one, going to be out Wednesday. At the end of those videos is Puppy of the Week. So if you want to see your dog featured on the channel, feel free to fill out the form. The link is posted down in the description, and your dog might get selected for Puppy of the Week. So tune into the Power Rankings videos to see if that happens. And with that out of the way, let's talk about the New England Patriots. As of today's recording date, which is Wednesday, August 28th, the New England Patriots have not named a starter. However, Gerard Mayo has said he has selected a starter. He will tell the team tomorrow morning. The reason we're recording so early for when this is coming out Monday, is because we are out of town this weekend and will not be able to record it closer to the actual date. So we got to get it done ahead of time. So if something happens between now and Monday and it's not in this video, that's why. So regardless, we don't know who the starting quarterback is. I fully expect it to be Jacoby Brissett. I think that's the right move for the team. May looked solid in the preseason, but he clearly still has some issues, especially against Washington. He stepped into pressure and stepped out of clean pockets and created a lot of his own pressure, and it caused some problems. It affected some of his throws. It led to some misses and some bad plays. He had a couple nice plays as well. The play that got called back to KJ Osborne was awesome. The 3rd and 14 run was awesome, but there's still a lot of other issues to clean up too. And again, he was not playing with starters, and he was playing against very vanilla defenses. So, you know, it's like Bill Belichick said, practice will probably be a better indicator of how good he's actually going to be. But right now, I think Jacoby Brissett is the best person to lead this football team into week 1. T-Bone, I want to get your thoughts on that situation.
Me? Okay. Well, I personally think that's probably the best option, is to, have the vet do the vet things, especially when such a raw guy like May is. So yeah, I am definitely, and I can say this from personal experience, I think it helps the rookie if he just sits a little bit. And I mean, definitely, as talented as Brissett is, that's just, he's no stranger to, leading the squad. So I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, so, I mean, that's a situation with the quarterback. Y'all might know more than we do by the time this comes out. But regardless, I think it's going to be Brissett, and I hope it's Brissett. I think it would be the right move for the team. Nothing on May, but I just don't think he's ready yet. But I think the future does look promising with May if they're able to clean up some of his biggest issues. Now, looking at the schedule, New England does not have it easy this year. They already play in a really tough division with the Jets, Dolphins, and Bills, who are all looking like they're going to be pretty darn good football teams. So that's 6 games that are already very difficult to win. Then you talk about having to play at Cincinnati, against Seattle, at San Francisco, against Houston, against Los Angeles, against Indianapolis, against Los Angeles again. And maybe even Tennessee. Tennessee might even find a way to be good. Or even Chicago. Like, every single one of the teams that New England has on their schedule, with the exception, I think, of Arizona and maybe Jacksonville, has the potential to be a very good football team and to cause a lot of problems for a lot of people, let alone a New England Patriots team that's in the middle of a rebuild. And if the Patriots have injury issues, especially with the offensive line, I think the starting offensive line is going to be a solid unit. They won't be, San Francisco or Philadelphia, but I think it would be a lot better than last year. There's been a lot of promise from Layden Robinson, from Caden Wallace, and if you get Onwenu at the right tackle, Wallace at the right guard, David Andrews at center, he'll be back by week 1. Anyone wondering why the offensive line struggled in the preseason? Andrews' injury is why. Once Andrews is back, he will be back for Cincinnati. That's a healthy offensive line. You have Sidney Sow and probably either Chuck Sokorfor or Caden Wallace at left tackle, or even Vadarian Lowe. Either of those three guys I'm comfortable with. It's not the greatest thing in the world, but they're all solid enough players, so I think it's a solid offensive line. It will be a run-first attack, and really, the other thing, too, is defense. The defense is going to be very, very good, and I think it's going to keep us in a lot of games, even with as many tough teams as we play. But because we have such an incredibly difficult schedule, just looking at it, it looks like a top 5 most difficult schedule in the NFL. It's going to be hard for New England to win a lot of football games. And I think they're a team that's capable of doing it. But man, oh man, is it going to be very, very difficult for them to win. And if we're talking about floor versus ceiling, I would put the New England Patriots floor at 5 wins and 12 losses, and I actually think a lot of people would consider that high. But I think New England was so incredibly injured last year, and I don't think people understand just how badly the Patriots were injured last year, that it led to a lot of the failures that the team had. The team allowed 10 or less points in 3 consecutive games and lost all 3 of them. That is unheard of, and a big part of it was there were so many injuries on the offensive side of the ball, especially with offensive line. Half the starting offensive line was out. Half the starting wide receivers are out. Ramondre Stevenson was out. Just so many injuries to an offense that didn't have a ton of depth led to a complete collapse. And we still pulled 4 wins out of the bag last year. So I think a roster that is better than last year's roster, upgrades all the way around on offense, probably doesn't get injured as much as they did last year. And their schedule last year wasn't that easy either. And so, 5 wins feels high for a floor. I don't think it's that high. I think a better roster that is likely to get injured less wins at least 5 games. So even if there's a lot of injuries, I think we still pull 5 out. Those 5 are going to be tough to find, but division matchups always find a way of being funky, and you never know what you're going to get out of Arizona, Jacksonville, Los Angeles, maybe Indianapolis, maybe Tennessee, maybe Chicago. Depends on if the Jets can stay healthy, because they don't have a ton of depth. So there's a lot of factors at play at football, and everyone knows. It can get really weird, it can get really random, it can get really wacky. Everyone knows just how chaotic the NFL is. What you think you know, you don't actually know. Anyone can win on any given Sunday. And I think that this is a team that, even if they sustain some injuries, can win on 5 Sundays. Now, if you're talking about a ceiling,
Say it.
Okay, before I put out my ceiling, I want to hear what you think my ceiling is for this football team.
What I think the New England Patriots ceiling is, or what I think you're going to say their ceiling is?
What you think I'm going to say their ceiling is.
Okay, you know what? I'm going to say it. I think that you're going to say they've got 10 wins.
And you would be correct.
Oh my god. Someone put him back.
I don't think it's that crazy.
Oh my god.
I think the New England Patriots defense is plenty good enough to hold even the best offenses in the NFL to low points. And if the defense is able to do that and the offense is able to stay healthy and Jalen Polk is able to hit stride, and let's say Drake May comes in and Drake May balls out, plays Justin Herbert style, has a CJ Stroud level rookie season, the Patriots can absolutely win 10 football games. Now, I do not think that that is likely at all. If I were to guess how many football games the Patriots are going to win this season, I would say 7. I think the Patriots will likely finish 7-10. But I do not think that working our way into a wild card spot is outside the realm of possibility. And that might be controversial, and it might be me being optimistic. I do not think it's going to happen. But I think people underestimate this football team. They underestimate what this defense is capable of. And I think they underestimate how much of a leap the offense has taken and how good a healthy New England Patriots can actually be. But I expect it to be something like 7 wins, 10 losses, and it's really a year where we get to evaluate what we have for the future. This is not an all-in year. It's not going to be an all-in year. This is a rebuild and evaluate year. So we're going to rebuild. We're in the middle of that, and we're going to evaluate what we have. And I think we have some pretty good pieces. We've already locked up some pretty good pieces for a long time. And I'm, quite frankly, really excited to see what we're able to do. It's going to be interesting. We'll have to see how it goes. I think Cincinnati, Seattle, New York, San Francisco, Miami, Houston is a really tough first 6 games, especially with 3 out of 4 of them being away games. But if we can win, I think 2 of the first 6 games, which I can see 2 wins in those 6 games, I think that's considered a good start for New England. A 2-4 start is a good start, especially for the level of competition we're going to have to play. So, that's kind of my 2 cents on New England. That's what I expect from them. I'm really excited for this year. I'm really excited to see what kind of team we have. And I'm curious your thoughts, T-Bone. Other than I am high on drugs. We'll leave off specific names for YouTube.
You got you've stunned me with your optimism, that or unabashed silliness. I'll say silliness so I don't get banned. I mean, you've got the idea. You know, I don't think you've got the number, but you've got the idea. It's the fact that your defense is going to be your bread and butter. It's not going to be an all-win year. You know, this is a see what we've got, evaluate after. You know, but it's going to be better. It's going to be better than last year, obviously. I mean, already future's brighter. Different personnel. Don't want to say better personnel, but better fit. I'd say better fit. And yeah, you've got it. You know, if you guys are healthy, I don't want to rank right now, but you would have a very good piece of O-line because they're not bad. They're not bad at all. So I remember thinking a while back. Back when the Lions were crap, I was like, wow, hey, one of the only bright spots is their O-line. So maybe you're in a similar situation. I see you guys winning 6 games.
What would you put our floor and ceiling as?
2-15, 7 wins.
You really were ceiling at 7.
You know what? No, 8. We'll say it. 8 wins. 8 wins is your ceiling. You could randomly get 8 wins. Yep, I'll say it. I don't believe in Chicago. I don't believe in Chicago.
Chicago,
I don't believe in
Arizona, Tennessee, Jacksonville, Indianapolis. We'll see. If Indy
Yeah.
gets hurt, they're very beatable. If Jacksonville gets hurt, they're very beatable. And even if they're not hurt, Jacksonville might be very beatable. We'll have to see.
So, but
how they start the year. Week 1 Cincinnati. Week 1 Cincinnati is not a good Cincinnati team.
You've got 5 wins. You're gonna win 5 wins.
I don't know. You also talk about we always get the Jets at least once, maybe Miami. Sometimes we pull a stunner at Buffalo. You know, there's potential for a good number of wins, but a lot would have to go right. But it is a team that is capable of achieving that number. It's not likely, but I think if this team is able to somehow, by some miracle, work their way into a wild card spot, I think that is a highly valuable level of experience for the football team going forward. And so I think it's an attainable goal, and I think it's absolutely something we should strive for. 9 wins will probably be enough to make the playoffs, and I can definitely see us winning 9 of these football games. It's going to be really difficult, but with our defense and with the improvements we've made to the offense, it's more than possible. T-Bone, you got any final thoughts before we wrap this thing up?
No, sir.
Alrighty then, that is going to do it for us today. So, if you want to leave your thoughts on what we've had to say and what you think New England is going to be this year, what you expect from the New England Patriots this year, feel free to leave them down in the comment section below. We would love to hear what you all have to say. And that is going to do it for us today. Thank you all so very much for watching. Please be sure to hit the like button. Please be sure to subscribe. And we will see you all in the next video.